Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Lions on SI Lone Wolves podcast. I'm the doc, John Macaroon. Sunday fun day. Nice, beautiful day. Oh my goodness. Try to keep it short, around 30 minutes. Hit on a couple interesting nuggets that we got to talk about. Now, you can go see my 53-man roster. I had a little fun with it. I put Zadarius Smith on it. I kept the 7 wide receivers, and some of my other colleagues did as well. I figured as much when you look at it. 7 wide receivers, is that crazy? I feel like it's just tough to pick, so I kept them both. Jackson Meeks and Dominic Lovett. They bring different things, and I'm keeping Meeks so that we can keep the line of communication open with Zadarius Smith. Now, who unfortunately gets off the roster because of the addition of Zadarius Smith? It had to be Nate Lynn. But if you give me the caveat, if you go check it out, there are 2 53-man rosters on Lions on SI. One from Christian, slightly different from me. I kept Kingsley Egwakun as the center. I also added Zadarius Smith to put it out there in the atmosphere for you guys. And for the Lions defensive line, you saw that the depth was not that great yesterday. Keith Cooper had a great start to camp, but unfortunately his game against the Texans was not as good as it needed to be. Faded a little bit. Now, one of the biggest debates that I think I'm seeing with mine versus others around town, lots of people felt like the 9 tackles that Lawrence Strickland had overall in a performance where you needed him to step up puts him over Kennelly. I looked at it as a whole body of work, but I could understand where if the Lions want to potentially develop Kennelly and he stays on the practice squad, I think there's a chance some team would see him. But a lot of others kept Strickland. That's fair. That's very fair. I could definitely see that. But I'm confident in mine. It's fun. Listen, as long as you're around 90, 95% accurate, you're pretty good. You're going to get around 46, 47 right. It's going to be those small. And also, too, there's going to be some additions to the roster from other teams, maybe, that we don't know. We don't know the severity of certain injuries. I made it so that I kept another player by putting Vaki on an injury list. That might not happen. Everybody else kept him on. That's fine. I'm aware that could be wrong. I'm aware. But I want to keep some people on my roster. So I just kind of played with the rules a little bit. I'm putting Vaki on an injury list. He misses the first month of the season. You're not going to need him anyway. It's Gibbs and Montgomery. And it's Gibbs. I'm thinking 65-35% ratio. Out of every 100 touches, I need Gibbs touching it 65 times. Right? Or more. John Wayne gets in. Let's go. Welcome to the Sunday podcast. Thanks for checking in. Nick P, this is like breakfast at Wimbledon on a Sunday, lunch with Doc. Enjoy. Yeah. We're going to keep it short. It's a nice, beautiful day. And also, I have a fantasy draft, so I'm going to get your guys' advice. I know I'm going to have 1 or 2 Lions. I just got to put some Lions on my fantasy team, so you guys will help me out. Shout out to you, Nick. And like I said, if you don't catch me live, I get it. And like I said, next week we'll work together to put together a schedule. Maybe I'm just going to go 5 days a week. The problem is Tuesday's an NFL off day. I don't know if that's a day you want to connect. Sunday, Monday. It feels like every day I could do this. But I need some days off. So I'm thinking 5 days a week, roughly an hour. Why not? It's fun. It's just going to be an addition to the work on Lions on SI. I feel like I could do this. I'm feeling maybe 10 a.m., 1 p.m. 1 p.m. is a little easier. But which day do I take off? Tuesday, the NFL off day? It feels weird. You go Sunday, Monday, take Tuesday off. I don't know. And then the schedule gets weird. 10 a.m. might work the best because the NFL schedule means you get there around 11 o'clock for some of these pressers. So we'll see. We'll work together. But I want you guys to be able to catch a lot of shows live, interact, drop your super chat, drop your questions, direct line to somebody who's covering the team intently. All right. Now, like I said, you have the side. There's so much content. We're going to drop a story every hour and a half, 2 hours on Lions NSI today. We got 5, 6 stories in the chamber, and there's more coming. It's unbelievable how much work we did. Attila the Hun saw it. Out Hallett, in Whiteside, out Strickland, in Lynn, in KCG, out Lovett, out Moody. Now, I have Hallett out. Tough call. I have Whiteside, I believe, out. I believe I have Strickland out. Lynn, I'm just swapping for Zadarius Smith. I put Lovett and Meeks in. I couldn't pick. So, I'm not the only one, though, so that's good. 7 wide receivers. It could be much, but I'm not picking. It's Sunday. I don't have to pick. I'm keeping them both because I want my inroads to Zadarius. Moody, I think I took out. But he's a tough one too. He's one of those ones that I believe has a chance, has inroads. I brought back Kingsley Egwakun. I think he can do a lot of different things. Moody out. Give me that Moody. Now, what do you guys think? Yeah, react in the comments. What do you guys think of the Howell trade? Howell being traded to the Eagles made me think no chance of a division trade for him as a backup. Interesting. Carson Wentz went to the Vikings. You concerned at all? I'm not. It's a nothing burger to me. If the Vikings go to Carson Wentz, I think that's a pretty much disastrous situation for them. No bueno. A lot of people wanted Wentz here. I do think somebody else will come to town. John Doe gets in. I wanted Wentz. No, I don't think I think it's a nothing burger. I think it's experience and somebody that can be a mentor. You need that veteran, somebody that's been there before, been through the trials and tribulations, has won some big games. That's a nice fit for them, especially with somebody young. That's why probably Kyle Allen's the right fit, somebody to be another set of eyes and ears for Jared Goff. I just want him to be pushed a little bit. So we all know we spent a lot of time talking about Hendon Hooker, and we'll recap what was said too in a story. So that story is coming up on Lines on SI as well. Also, too, throughout the show, what do you guys think? I put Zadarius Smith in my 53 man. Is it a pipe dream? Is it realistic? By Tuesday, I gave myself 24, 42, 72 hours. Get Zadarius Smith. Now, over the next 20 minutes, I just want to talk to you guys and it's Sunday. Let's talk about trust. We're going to talk about some key pieces. Do you trust them? Yes or no, and why? Because when you look at this roster, some of the guys that you're counting on, you have to be able to trust them. It's very important. The last one is going to be the most hotly debated in the comments, but we'll save that for last. Any super chat, anything you want to talk about gets right to the front of the line. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification tab. Thank you guys for the amazingly nice comments about this podcast. It makes it fun, makes you excited to plan something every single day, to get excited to at least interact with the people that have made this fun. From Tampa all the way to San Diego, all the way to the Jersey Shore, and even all the way to the Middle East. You guys are finding me. That's really fun. It makes it fun to hear those nice comments. And then for the handful that like to talk about the ads that pop up on Lions on SI, as you can see, si.com/NFL/Lions. My message to you is click one. It won't ruin your computer. We know there's worse on your computer history that you got to clear. Visit a couple, take 70 seconds, click some of the ads, watch some of the videos, and your time is valuable. You can read the information, click on some of the ads. It helps the doc keep the lights on. Buy one more book I can read. It won't hurt you, I promise. Then you can get back to your regularly scheduled reading. You see a pop-up, go, all right. Don't get annoyed. Click on it. Say, all right. AT&T, Verizon, whatever. Just click on it. We all know your stuff. We all know your stuff is corrupted anyway. Just click on it. No worries. You'll come right back to where you need to be. Man, here we go. Let's start on the offensive line. Do you guys trust Taylor Decker? 32 years old. It was highlighted in the video package there yesterday. They have him on a jumbotron, and boom, he's 32 years old. He's going to have a big year. You got to protect Jared Goff's blind side. He's getting up there in age, dealing with some minor injuries, getting some minor surgeries to make sure he's ready for this year. His shoulder's good. My trust level is an 8. I feel like he's a veteran, but man, he's a warrior. He plays hurt. He is a player that's been through the battles and a staple. And I think he deserves to go out in style with a long playoff run, a Super Bowl appearance, maybe even a Super Bowl win. Do you trust Taylor Decker? Yes or no? He's very important for this offensive line. Now, he's had up and down the past couple years. Pressure totals have kind of increased a little bit, dealing with some injuries. The offensive line was okay last year, stellar to where it needed to be, but was inconsistent. Graham Glasgow and others were dealing with things, and it made the offensive line definitely stand out as a weakness against the Commanders. So we'll get to the center. We'll probably talk a lot about a couple of the offensive linemen, but let's start there. Do you trust Taylor Decker? Very important position. I think that when you look at that player, one of the first key first-round picks of the previous era, the previous regime, and you get after it. I think as a left tackle, he's been steady, a steadying force. I think this year and next, I think will be key for him. And hopefully the work that he does with Giovanni Manu to move this forward, and hopefully the opportunity presents itself that if Manu takes over, he can have the same standard as Taylor Decker. My trust level is good. What do you guys think? J-Rod number 16. Like, share, subscribe, membership, comment. Be a big active member of the community. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Yeah, all balls, no D, you know. He got beat a few times last year pretty bad. It's a tough position, man. These defensive linemen, defensive tackles, the schemes that these teams are running are pretty solid, meant to get after the quarterback. Decker healthy is probably injured average. It's probably a Pro Bowler. Injured, he's average. You're right. All pro talent. I think he's there. He's a talented player. Rugged and gets after it. A healthy Taylor Decker. Is he a Pro Bowler? That's a fair question. Now, do you guys trust Graham Glasgow? The center. That one is a little bit more up and down. You're counting on hope that he rebounds from an up and down year last year. He was hurt. He is more comfortable, but he's getting up there. Mine's more at a 7 with Graham Glasgow. I still got to see a little bit more. A little bit concerned about Graham Glasgow. Are you okay with the Lions' decision to put him back at center? Let me know. Gwendolyn, DH plays, $4.99 super chat. Hendon Hooker had no value unless he's deported to the UFL. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Hendon Hooker is clearly universally not on anybody's 53-man roster. Now, that was mine last time too, but it took the other reporters a little longer because they wanted to see if there was one more game in him against the Texans. In my opinion, that didn't matter. He could have went out there and threw 6 touchdowns. It wouldn't have mattered. His whole body of work indicates he's not ready. The question mark, Gwendolyn, do you want him back to continue to develop here or change the scenery, which Dan Campbell hinted at as part of the evaluation? Maybe what's in the best interest of Hendon is to leave Detroit and go somewhere else. What do you think? Shout out to you, $4.99. Thank you so much for the love. That means a lot to me. Shout out, Gwendolyn DH plays. Booner gets in. I had Hendon Hooker out 2 months ago. Yeah. You should have. You know why? Because you read the doc. You have me on your show. I probably did sound the alarm too early. I wrote something. I still can't believe I wrote it. Like in the moment, you just write and say what you think. But I can't believe on the first day of OTAs, I wrote the Lions could get 2 new backups. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what made me think that? That is a little like one practice, but it was that unsettling. And I shared that on your show. One practice is all the doc gave. But in the end, there's standards. Booner knows. He understands what he's seeing. He understands the total picture. He understands the levels to this. His colleague, though, Booner's got to stand up a little more and win those arguments. You got to be bold. Hendon Hooker had a great camp, but he never led touchdown drives. Well, he didn't throw picks. There's a lot of levels to an evaluation, and I think Booner understood what he was seeing when he went out there. Didn't cap off touchdown drives, didn't do what he needed to do. Booner, this episode's a trust episode. Do you trust Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow? How much do you trust them? I'm comfortable with Decker. Graham, I have a little bit more question marks on. I feel like some of these defensive tackles are going to get excited. These defensive coordinators are going to run some beautiful stunts with their linebacker and see if they can confuse and get into some gaps with in between Glasgow and Ratledge. Man, Gwendolyn, thank you so much. Another $4.99. Raiders QB AOC broke his wrist, so maybe. I wanted him too. I wanted Aiden O'Connell. That would have been nice. Felt like he was kind of somebody that would fit the mold of what the Lions would like. Big, athletic, gritty. Yeah, we'll start to look tomorrow. Maybe we'll start to see. Now, programming note, we also have a tracker on Lions on SI. Any cuts that are made that we hear of, boom. Refresh it, bookmark it, you'll see it. Cuts probably can start tomorrow with the Lions. I presume there'll be a handful tomorrow of the lower end guys, like the guys 90th through 70th, you'll start to hear tomorrow. And then the big ones will be on Tuesday. That's the day you want to stick to Lions on SI, the tracker, our reports, and the comprehensive recap podcast we will do. Appreciate you, Gwendolyn. Keep them coming. Got good takes. What do you expect from Decker and Glasgow this year? My trust level with Tate Ratledge, the rookie, very strong. Gets to the second level, learns from mistakes. I think they'll put him in a position to succeed. I think the offensive line will impress people and will still be the anchor of this football team. I trust Hank Fraley greatly to be able to get these guys up to speed. Now, can he develop Giovanni Manu further? He's got another year to do it. Manu's going to be on the roster. That's going to be the question mark. Is some of these developmental guys, you're going to lose 2/3 of them. Martin, I think, is off the roster. Does he stay on the practice squad? Is it worth a spot? We'll see. Yeah, I'll get to it now. As I talk, some more names pop in my head in regards to trust and maybe even to the coaching staff, especially with what happened with Hendon Hooker. Now, otherwise, this year, it's not the player, but it's the scheme. Do you trust that Sam LaPorta will be used properly this year? I feel like they love his blocking. They want him to be physical. He'll open up some lanes for Montgomery and Gibbs. I'm not as fond of that as him getting out in the flat and being the George Kittle of the offense and dancing and getting to the end zone and lighting up opposing defenses. But I trust that Sam LaPorta is going to have a better year than he did last year. I felt like they went away and he was dealing with injuries. They went away from somebody that I felt like had some really solid talent and should have taken more of a step last year. But there's a lot of mouths to feed. The offense was, you can't complain, the offense was scoring a lot of points, amongst the top scoring offenses in all of the National Football League. Do you trust Sam LaPorta to be productive? We all know we trust St. Brown, J-Mo. We trust the top end talent on this football team to make plays. The offense is going to be amazing. Sam LaPorta, interesting. I feel like it's more hit or miss on how they use him. Because now a rookie might come in and take some of the food off his plate. Isaac Tesla is going to be out there being like, oh, you want that extra shrimp? No, it's mine. Extra couple targets, they're mine now. But I think starting the season, everybody should have a lot of trust in LaPorta to have a big year. All balls, no D, trust level 9. Same, 9.5. You can trust Sam LaPorta. All right, let's see. I want to go last with it, but I'll go. You know what? I'll go defense. Let's start defense, and then we'll work our way back to the main event. You guys know who's the biggest debate in regards to trust level. On defense, do you trust Terry and Arnold? What you saw in all the clips? Will he take that second-year jump? You know me. Friends don't let friends play cornerback. It's a tough position. But he's battling against the best of the best on the Lions. It's a tough position. But if Terry and Arnold is Arnold Island and he's confident and makes plays and can be somebody that can win more reps and a lot of pass breakups, that defense takes a massive step forward. Massive. If the officials, let him play a little bit more physical, if he gets the savviness down to be able to depart and disengage when he needs to, gets those interceptions up. Now you're talking Branch, Joseph, Arnold. Wow. Jab. Joseph, Arnold, Branch. Whew. What a mix. How much trust do you have in Terry on? A lot of people were skeptical. A lot of people saw that first year with all the penalties. But DJ Reed said it. Amik Robertson said it. TA told me directly, I'm balling. You see me out there, I'm balling. Very confident individual. Very confident. But it's a tough position. You're going to be going up against the creme de la creme, the Reeds, the Jeffersons. You're going to have some opportunities to get after it. That's fair. Eloy Trevino, TA trust at a 7. All balls, no D's, like, no worries there. Bring that back up to a 10. 10 Arnold trust level. Like it. How much do you trust Amik Robertson? Dude's a dog in the middle. Nickel can do the things that he can do in the slot as a slot nickel cornerback. Oh my goodness, can be on the outside. Combined with DJ Reed. I like the secondary. The trust level to me is growing every single practice, but they're going up against their own guys. And clearly, new opponents will have new strategies to be able to maneuver. How much do you trust Terry and Arnold in the secondary? It's going to be key. In the middle, there's the question that everybody's going to have. How much do you trust Jack Campbell? He didn't have his best practice against the Texans. Out of position at times, a little bit slower. Just kind of wasn't the best practice for him compared to his own standards. If he takes that step forward and becomes the real captain of the defense, it's going to be great. But the question mark is going to be his recognition in coverage. He's going to get over 100 tackles. He's going to fly to the football. His ability to read runs is great, but he's got to make sure his keys are on point. He makes sure his run recognition versus the pass is where it needs to be. And it's just unbelievably tough to guard these tight ends. It's just these offensive coordinators are like, how do we, get these guys in motion to expose the tight end against a linebacker to the mismatch? If he can be somewhat stellar, that's a big step forward. That alleviates some of the concerns that people have going into this year. Enough guys, we all know we trust the safeties. There's no question need to be asked. Just give them the trust. They've earned it until we discuss it later. Jack Campbell, TA, big keys. I can't ask the question on number 92 because I think you guys will universally swing the bias. You'll swing the vote. But so far, so good. Marcus Davenport, knock on wood, has survived training camp. Step 1, mission accomplished. Now we go to step 2, survive game 1. Last 2 before we talk fantasy, and then I'm out of here. Get your questions in. Any super chats, get to the front of the line. And again, this week, programming, I will be on every single day. Last day, Thursday or Friday. And then a couple days off, maybe a week. Maybe the preview, 4 or 5 days off. Come back that Friday to preview Green Bay with the daily show. But I want to put it together nicely. I've enjoyed it. It's also a triple dip. I put it on here. This podcast, and thank you to Booner and Lion Syndicate and AB, my friend. 2 friends that are AB for encouraging me to do it. I triple dip. I do the podcast, I can make it an article, and I can cut up the videos and put it on the website. So it's a triple dip, man. It's beautiful. And I get to interact with you guys. I mean, it's win, win, win. I get to slice up the pie and ship it all over. Thank you. I'm humbled for the 300 of you here now. Hit some likes. And leave the comments. Who do you trust most? Who do you have the most concern? That's what I want to read this evening from you guys in the comments. The trust level. It's important to set the tone early. Who do you trust? Now, on offense, we got to talk about it. We'll give it probably 5 minutes. Do you trust Jared Goff this year? Here's why. I'm going to give arguments for both and my final conclusion. I trust Jared Goff to work with John Morton to have this offense running at a very high clip by at least the halfway point of the year. Early on, there might be some struggles, some hiccups, some miscommunications, not running on all cylinders right away. But it'll be good. By the time the first quarter of the season happens, you get after it. And it's going to start rolling. Gibbs will get a lot of touches. He'll become the legend this year. He'll become an all-pro household name this year again. So I trust Jared Goff in the regular season. Now in the postseason, you're going to need all things firing from Jared Goff. You're going to need to have him play a close game. The panic level goes up when the playoffs start because that's when the defensive lines step up. That's when everybody's operating at a very high level, and you're going to have to step it up. You're going to have to take your game from where you are in the regular season and step it up a notch. Maybe 2. Does Goff have that in him to step it up in the postseason? That's where my biggest concern is. Can he step it up, raise his game, and make everybody forget about that awful game against the Commanders? He didn't have a good game. Ben Johnson had a worse game with his scheme. You didn't give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs early. You wanted to mix in David Montgomery, who was coming off of an injury. You maybe needed to protect David Montgomery from himself and just giving the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs and stop with the silliness with the empty backfield sets on short yardage situations. I think John Morton will clearly pound the rock with David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds on short yardage situations. What's your trust level? Jared Goff. My man Steve gets in. He's a Detroit Sports Podcast longtime member. He's got a hat. It's almost like the DSP Hall of Fame. He's got one of the hats. Might be time to put in the next order. I gave them all away. I forget, Steve. I mailed it to you. I forget how I got it to you. But I know you asked for a long time, and I apologize. I made you wait way too long. But I believe I mailed it to you. But I forget. But Steve is a long-time DSP supporter. Checks in on all the things. All balls, no D. I need a hat. Okay, I'll put that order in. I'll get with Vito. Drop a couple super chats. Pay for some postage and shipping. They're not cheap, man. I thought I had a guy with Vito. Vito's guy is expensive, but it's worth it. It's a write-off. Steve, yes, I mailed it to you. Bees, I trust he's going to try his best. Do you trust him? Yeah, I think he'll try his best. He's going to focus. Does he get after it? Do you believe that Jared Goff can raise his level when it's time? That's going to be key. Every position at the quarter, every team goes by how their quarterback goes. If Jared Goff has a good year, look out. Sky's the limit. Right, Kevin? Kevin Jeffrey gets in. The Vikings turned a backup quarterback into draft picks. That's an amazing front office. And look at the Eagles making moves for backups. They wanted to shore things up. They saw something in Sam Howell this postseason. You think Howie Roseman looked at Hendon Hooker's tape before he called? Tony Guerra. Jared Goff is an elite quarterback. He'll do just fine, and as a result, so will the offense and the Lions as a team. Tony G, respect that. Respect your profile pic. Oh my goodness, Max Splicer. Me personally, all right, I got to give it 60 seconds. I know I spent a lot of time over the last 40 days talking about myself. It was fun. I graded my offseason an A. I did everything I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to grow a YouTube channel. I wanted to be more of a presence reporting, get some news out there, get some contacts, text more agents, text more sources. I did all those things. I did a feature, learned about the VR room of the Lions, so I brought something new to the table. And really, in the end, just having fun with this. I feel I've grown as a broadcaster. I've done a year and a half with Booner, not missing a show. I mean, that's wild that they haven't booted me yet, and that we just keep rolling. I graded an A. Like I said, I couldn't ask for better. Thank you, though. It's really nice. That's really nice to ask. It was a good run. I had a good camp with one set of eyes. I feel like I should have battled more for more stuff that I wanted, but it's all good. I mean, every day there was a new. I was humbled. Every day there was a new national podcast coming to town. But I don't want to set up a chair and videos like that yet. Maybe in a year, I'll be comfortable. Just set up the chairs, set up the videos, and be like, I want to talk to this person. I like scooting around and talking to 3, 4 people after practice. I don't want to lock in on one. But it's time for the doc one-on-one, right? It's time. It's time for the doc Dan Campbell one-on-one. Dan Campbell probably have me crying instead of the other way around. All balls, no D, $5. Do you think Tesla becomes the number 3 wide receiver? We asked him that. He said, look, don't look at numbers, but I think he'll get some targets. I think he'll be around 30 catches, 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. He'll be in the mix. And hey, by the time the postseason gets here, get him in the mix. Bro, let's see. Let's see him develop quickly. Throw him into the fire. Battle TA, battle DJ Reed in practice. Get up to speed and be the guy that can be an option later in the year. I believe that he'll have an opportunity to have a very productive rookie season. I'm very happy with that. $5 super chat. Do you think Tesla becomes number 3 wide receiver? What are you guys' expectations? How many catches for Tesla this year? Drop them in the comments. Yeah, we'll do some expectations. Thank you so much for the super chat. Working your way up. A couple more. Might get that VIP and get that order in quickly. Wow. Thank you, guys. Lions off season? Definitely B+. Good work. Feel like they still could have did a little bit more. Man, I appreciate you guys humbly in the chat. Max Splicer. Appreciate the streams, Doc. They've been fun. Tony G, my man. I remember your comment. That stuck with me. Tony G, $10. Get down with your bad self, Doc. Remember, you're the Sydney Sweeney of sports reporters. LOL. Now, are you referencing that the camera just likes to find me out there at Allen Park? We have to dispel this notion, this rumor that I'm a camera hog. I had fun with it, guys. I had fun with it. Look, I ain't the only one. I learned from the best. I learned how these people get down. They're all slick. I'm just more open about it, being like, I want to have some fun with it. I'm the Sydney Sweeney of the sports reporters. It just so happens that they find me in positions where I am. My favorite one, though, to be honest, was getting on the Texans video with a touchdown pass where you can see me reporting and looking and observing. And also when Tua was talking to somebody and they were doing a question about Eminem or who song was it, you see me right there nodding. And I just was like, yeah, I'm just going to start doing it. Nodding my head like I'm here. I had fun with it. Tony G, $10. Thank you so much. Humbly, thank you for being part of our community. I hope you have a blessed Sunday, and all respect to you and yours. Message anytime. That's awesome. That's right. The camera should find me and where I'm at. Also, too, I truly believe they're probably like, okay, good. Now we know where he's at. He's not. Okay. Okay. Security. Is he within 200 yards of Dan? Okay. Make sure he's not. Okay. Bring a player over. John's coming closer. He might ask Dan a question about Hendon Hooker in the roster. Is he that close? No. Keep him back. Okay. Dan's walking back. We have the podcaster in our sights. Yes, T 500 yards. He's far away from Jared. He will not ask any questions. Keep him away from Danny Rogers. He will not ask her any questions either. We're good. We like his positioning, central position on the field there. Good spot. No. Too close to JMO. No. T200. Move him away. Interns, get after him. Tell him to back away. I kid. You got to have fun in this job. And I have the most of it. Camera Hawk. All balls, no D. $5. Trust in Doc. I'm humbled by you guys. Thank you. Trust the Doc. Yeah, trust me. Trust me. I am not doing this on purpose. Come on. I am not doing this on purpose. What are you insinuating, that I look at the camera and know where it's at? This is getting out of hand. Tony, that really, outside of the super chats and everything, that means a lot. In Doc, we trust. That's all you could ask for, is the trust from you guys. And I mean, I earned it. The proof's in the pudding. And I earned it because I wasn't acknowledged by others. Man, Tony, that means a lot. Thank you. I might even screen grab that, and I'll note it. 37 minutes in. I earned it. I earned it. I'm a trustworthy guy because I'm real. I'm right here. I'm accessible. Steve. She's professional. She's a great reporter. Steve. I'm a reporter, Steve. Steve. Get your mind out of the gutter, Steve. I'm focused on the Lions and seeing where the cameras are. Steve. All right, last 2 minutes. I'm already long. I'm already over my time. I think I'm picking 8th or 9th in my fantasy in about an hour, 3:15. I'm heading east side, and I'm heading down towards Utica. If you're in the area, you'll see me drafting. Let's grab a beer. Fantasy team. Who on the Lions should I get? Amon-Ra? Should I take Amon-Ra with the 8th, 9th pick? Should I take Amon-Ra? I think Gibbs is going to go early. So when it comes back around, I think I'll have picks. So it'll be 10, 11, 12, then 12 again. So 10, 11, 12, 12, 11, 10, 9. I'll have the 17th pick and the 9th pick. Do I go Amon-Ra St. Brown with the 8th, 9th pick? Do I go running back? What do you guys think? Neighbors? What do you guys think? Ghetto Boy Juan says Amon-Ra or Neighbors. That's fair. Should I go wide receivers? Man, I fall in love with these running backs. I know now more and more people are taking wide receivers first. Who do I need to have on my fantasy team? I was close, guys. I burn. I built the team. Last year was wild. Our fantasy draft was in the finale of the preseason last year. I was in the press box and I did 3 picks, and the rest was auto pick. And it was one of the best teams I ever had. I had JMO. I had a young cat in Ladd McConkey. I knew to pick him up. And we get to, I go maybe 13-2, 12-3, great regular season. Get to the postseason, and I was 1 transaction away. If I just switched up the tight end matchup and had the other bench person, he outdid the guy, I win, and then I would have won the next 2 weeks by a combined 40 points. And looking at the matchups, I outscored the quarterfinalists, the semifinalists, and the finalists the following weeks. I was 1 transaction away from winning my fantasy league for the first time with Jock, our family league. I was 1 transaction away. His dad beat me in the first round. the classic number 1 seed, by far the best team. Boy, it hurts now. I haven't thought about it. I buried it until now. Adam the Jock won the fantasy league last year. He's going to bring the trophy this year. He got to celebrate. I beat him regularly. I was 1 transaction away. So I'll update it briefly. I know you guys don't care a lot about fantasy, but I will update throughout some of the shows how I'm doing, just record-wise. And maybe 60 seconds of complaining, because I'm always the guy that leaves the good guy on the bench and the player that produces on the bench, because I don't do that. I'm not all that into fantasy. Like, I'm into the Lions. So we'll see. But I think I'm going to try to get Amon-Ra, Gibbs. Those are the 2 big ones. J-Mo's a high risk, but good value. Isaac Tesla is a very, late round value pick. Maybe in the postseason, we'll get you a couple. Nice. Steve, I sent you my fantasy team. Yeah. Feel free, guys. Tag me at Detroit Podcast. I don't care. I love to read those. Send me your team. Bees 9. Doc needs a Netflix documentary called Reporter. Close, Bees. Close. Humbly, yes, I am a reporter. I am a curious individual, but I need the documentary to be titled Podcaster. That's the title I claim. That's the title I respect. That's the title I want. T minus 200. The podcaster's near Dan Campbell. Please make sure you keep your eyes on him. T minus 200. Dan Campbell's getting too close. I think next year the joke should be, right? Like, they'll start with 1 question. All right, guys, Jared Goff's here. They go 1 question, 2 questions. I ask the question. Okay, 1 more, guys. I'd be like, guys, I've noticed that every time I've asked a question, you've then shut down the presser and done the 1 more, guys. We got time for 1 more. Sorry, John. We got time for 1 more. We got time for 1 more. Sorry, John. Sorry. Like, I've noticed that every time you see me about to start talking, you do the 1 more thing. They are busy. All the podcasters came to town. He can't take it personally. All the podcasters came to town. The Pivot, Green Light podcast, Kay Adams. I love it. It validates what we're doing. Green Light podcast, Pivot podcast. That's right. No worries, William. The show was good. Rewind to 45 minutes. We shout you out, Mr. William. Get after it. You'll catch me. But shout out to you. Check out the show. It's good 45 minutes. A little bit of laughs, a little bit of entertainment. This episode was about trust. Which players do you trust? Goff, Decker, Arnold. Rewind it. It's on demand for you guys. Trust in the pod with the DOC. That's right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the time. I always enjoy it. Thank you for the lighthearted Sundays. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for accepting me in the YouTube space. Overseas, Florida, Detroit, Canada, Zimbabwe. You guys are checking this out from all over the place. From the lovers to the haters to the super chatters, I'm humbly honored to be just a small part of the community and getting after it. And you'll always know I cover the team because their video team is capturing me every single day. They're spotting me. Mr. Macaroon has been spotted. He's nowhere near where he needs to be. He's in good space. Central zone, he's in good spots. No room to troll. They probably call me TR1. TR1 has approached the practice field. We got our eyes on him. TR1 is now approaching Danny Rogers. Please make sure someone stops him. TR1 has entered Allen Park. TR1, baby. I love it. Love having a good time. You guys are the best. Thanks for the laugh. And as I buy more hats and spend on them, I will definitely start shipping some of you great ones in here. Some hats. Right? Lion Security. TR1 has left the building. Thank you very much. We can resume professional operations. TR1 is about to enter the pit there. He's going to ask a question. 1 question left, please. 1 question left. Divert. TR1 is entering the press area. Divert, divert. He's going to ask. He's going to ask. We know it. We can see it. We've been watching him. TR1 has entered. He's in the middle zone there. He's still got that dang backpack. What's in that backpack, guys? Go bump yourself into him. Figure out what's in that backpack. All right. TR1 has left the building. Have a blessed Sunday. Laugh. Don't take things seriously. Walk up to the line. And hey, if you're not trying your hardest, are you really trying? Peace and love, everybody. Let's go.